Buying a car should feel like stepping into freedom, not signing up for years of financial misery. Yet every year, thousands of European drivers discover that their dream car is nothing more than a rolling nightmare. Engines collapsing before 50,000 kilometers, safety recalls that leave families wondering if they are gambling with their lives, repair bills so high they could buy you another used car outright. We are not talking about obscure brands or forgotten relics. These are the cars that once flooded showrooms, paraded in glossy ads, and promised comfort, safety, and innovation. But beneath the polished paint and chrome lies a trap: fragile engineering, relentless breakdowns, and sky-high costs that turn pride of ownership into a burden. Tonight, we reveal the 15 worst cars Europeans have abandoned, ending with a luxury SUV so popular it dominates sales charts, yet so fragile it can bankrupt its owner before hitting 80,000 kilometers. Number 15. Peugeot 3008. At first glance, the Peugeot 3008 looks like a triumph of modern design. Its futuristic dashboard, sleek lines, and SUV stance catch the eye of anyone passing by. For a brief moment, buyers believe they've made a stylish, forward-thinking choice. But ownership tells a very different story. Mechanical failures haunt this model year after year. The 2025 edition was recalled due to faulty front suspension ball joint bolts. If those bolts fail, the driver could instantly lose control of the car, a terrifying risk for any family vehicle. The diesel versions added another headache with the so-called AdBlue system, designed to reduce emissions but notorious for breaking down. Warning lights, system shutdowns, and repair costs of over 6,500 euros struck some unlucky drivers before even reaching 65,000 kilometers. Timing chain problems made matters worse. Despite several redesigns, premature wear led to catastrophic engine damage and, in extreme cases, total engine failure. A car that dazzles on the showroom floor but crumbles in daily use is no bargain. It's a betrayal. Number 14. Ford Fiesta. Once the darling of European roads, the Ford Fiesta represented affordability, fun, and practicality. But its decline is one of the most dramatic in the automotive world. The PowerShift automatic transmission turned into a disaster for owners. Jerky shifts, grinding noises, and clutch failures often appeared early, forcing repairs that exceeded 2,000 euros. Even worse, some customers saw the same failures return after service. Dealership experiences only deepened the frustration. Cars sat in service bays for months awaiting warranty parts, leaving drivers stranded with no clear answers. Poor communication and delays turned loyal Ford fans into critics. The absence of an electric version sealed the fate of the Fiesta. While competitors raced toward electrification, Ford let its once beloved small car fall behind. By 2021, it had slipped out of the UK's top 10 bestsellers, a humiliating collapse for a model that once owned the streets. Number 13. Skoda Octavia. The Skoda Octavia has long marketed itself as the sensible choice, spacious, efficient, and equipped with a strong safety rating. But reality revealed cracks in that image. The DSG automatic gearbox quickly became infamous for jerky transitions, delayed acceleration, and outright failure. A single repair often cost over 1,000 euros, eating away at its budget-friendly appeal. Technology didn't save it either. The infotainment system froze, touch controls failed, and owners were often told the only fix was a full replacement, an outrageous solution for a supposedly practical car. Then came the safety nightmares. Between 2014 and 2018, airbag defects led to recalls. Some inflated too slowly, others failed entirely. In 2016, another recall targeted child locks that could disengage unexpectedly, leaving parents horrified at the risks their children unknowingly faced. Design flaws added insult to injury. Defective rear window seals and poorly engineered hatchback grommets let water seep directly into the cabin and luggage area. Which should have been an affordable, reliable family car, instead turned into a frustration factory.
Number 12. Seat Leon. The Seat Leon arrived with sporty lines and the promise of Volkswagen engineering beneath the skin. It shared many components with the VW Golf, which gave buyers confidence. But once on the road, the flaws came to light. The dual-mass flywheel was a recurring nightmare. Some cars refused to shift properly, leaving drivers stranded in gear. Others suffered violent jerks and uncontrolled movements that made driving hazardous. The 1.6 TDI diesel engine only magnified the misery. Its diesel particulate filter, DPF, clogged alarmingly fast. Some owners reported the need to clean it every 500 kilometers, and if the regeneration process failed too often, the entire filter had to be replaced at significant cost. Meanwhile, the infotainment system collapsed under its own promises. Sat-nav failures, frozen screens, and long waits for replacement parts left more than half of reported electrical issues unsolved for weeks. Safety did not escape scrutiny. Between 2013 and 2017, over 140,000 Seat Leon models were recalled for airbag gas generator faults. In the worst cases, airbags exploded and sent shrapnel into the cabin, an unthinkable outcome for families who bought into the Leon's reputation as a practical modern hatchback. Number 11. Ford Kuga. On the surface, the Ford Kuga was marketed as a dependable family SUV. But the deeper you dig, the uglier the truth becomes. Between 2013 and 2020, the 1.6-liter EcoBoost engine in early models became infamous for overheating and even catching fire. Ford tried to salvage the disaster with recalls, installing coolant sensors and updating software. But for countless owners, the damage was already irreversible. Transmission and clutch issues added to the chaos. From 2013 to 2018, defective pressure plates led to sudden clutch failures. Owners described terrifying burning smells, loud grinding noises, and eventual total loss of drivability. And just when you thought safety features could save its reputation, reality hit. A batch of 2016 models had airbags that simply didn't deploy during crashes. For a car sold as a family protector, this was an unforgivable flaw. Even diesel models, once expected to be the sensible choice, performed terribly. A shocking 20% of diesel Kugas spent weeks in repair shops, some racking up bills over 4,500 euros. For many, the Kuga became less a vehicle and more a recurring liability. Number 10. Nissan Qashqai. The Nissan Qashqai made waves when it launched, even winning awards as a breakthrough crossover. But years later, ownership turned sour. One of the most common problems was oxygen sensor failure. Some models suffered electrical shorts that wiped out the rear sensors entirely. Fixing them cost 250 euros or more, unless covered by recalls. Parking sensors were just as unreliable. Water intrusion ruined them, causing false alarms or complete shutdowns. Owners had to fork out around 145 euros for replacements. In 2017, brake hoses became the next crisis. They wore down against wheel arch protectors, forcing recalls for a defect that never should have passed inspection. But perhaps most alarming was the Qashqai's oil consumption problem. Some units burned through oil so rapidly that inattentive owners found themselves facing severe engine damage. Add in an outdated infotainment system that demanded expensive dealer updates, and an air conditioning system prone to repeated regassing, and the once praised crossover lost its shine fast. By 2021, its outdated safety standards meant that even its 5-star Euro NCAP rating no longer carried real weight.
Number 9. Volvo V40. Volvo built its reputation on safety and understated elegance, but the V40 cracked that image wide open. Beneath its Scandinavian styling lurked a lineup of risks that no owner could ignore. The 2.0-liter diesel engine posed a frightening hazard, coolant leaks that could escalate into full-on engine fires. In the UK alone, over 70,000 units were recalled for this defect. A second recall followed soon after, rubber fuel hoses prone to cracking and leaking, raising yet another fire risk. Electrical gremlins swarmed the model. Tail lights failed due to software issues, steering systems left drivers feeling disconnected, and airbags occasionally refused to deploy. Owners of the R-Design trim, lured by its sporty promise, got an extra punishment: stiff suspension that made daily driving brutally uncomfortable. Costs piled on quickly. Clutch replacements were needed before 65,000 kilometers. Diesel particulate filter failures approached €1,000 per fix. Some unlucky drivers saw their entire engine collapse, leaving them with repair bills north of €7,800. The V40 looked safe, felt premium, but often ended up abandoned as a financial black hole. Number 8. Mercedes-Benz C-Class, 4th generation. A Mercedes should symbolize precision and refinement, but the 4th generation C-Class became infamous for constant recalls, over 20 in total. The list of faults read like a warning manual: airbags that failed to deploy, power steering failures, turbo oil leaks, AMG rear axles snapping under strain, and engine software bugs that stalled vehicles at speed. Quality control slipped badly. Owners complained of squeaky brakes, leaky door seals that let in whistling wind, and artificial leather seats that discolored prematurely. Even the infotainment system felt outdated, and Mercedes had the audacity to charge €250 just for a map update. Survey results confirmed the collapse. In the 2021 Driver Power Survey, the C-Class languished near the bottom, with 1 in 3 owners reporting major faults. Repair time stretched over a week, while a standard dealership service could cost €500. The C-Class promised the Mercedes dream, but delivered instead a relentless drain of patience and wallet. BMW M3, F80 generation. The BMW M3 has always been a symbol of raw driving thrill, but the F80 generation came with a sting. Its celebrated S55 engine carried a catastrophic flaw: a weak crank hub. If it slipped, the entire engine could be destroyed in seconds. Repair bills spiraled past €10,000 for some victims. Rod bearing wear compounded the nightmare, threatening complete seizure. The dual-clutch transmission, while superb on the track, was clumsy in traffic. Owners described jerky low-speed operation and faced €3,000 replacement bills outside warranty. Add in a suspension so stiff that city driving bordered on unbearable, and the daily M3 experience felt punishing instead of premium. BMW servicing costs widened the gap. Regular maintenance already exceeded rivals, and when failure struck, bills soared. For enthusiasts, the M3 still delivered adrenaline on open roads, but for everyday buyers, it was less a car and more a gamble with your bank account. Number 6. Land Rover Discovery Sport. The Discovery Sport was meant to carry the Land Rover badge into the family SUV segment. Instead, it dragged the brand's reputation through the mud. From its 2015 launch, owners reported endless issues: jerky transmissions, unresponsive acceleration, and appallingly poor fuel economy. Consumer Reports scored it a brutal 47/100, and the verdict was clear: this SUV was a liability. Electrical failures became routine. Interior rattles plagued the cabin. Diesel models were especially cursed. Clogged DPF filters and oil sump contamination that sometimes led to catastrophic engine damage. Even the basics failed. Power tailgates refused to operate, while random electronic glitches stranded drivers. Sales figures told the story. In 2018, global sales reached over 95,000. By 2021, numbers collapsed to just 12,843, as buyers turned to competitors like the BMW X3 and Audi Q5. Safety was solid, with 9 airbags and emergency braking, but those positives vanished under a mountain of repair bills. For families, the Discovery Sport wasn't a smart investment. It was an ongoing financial punishment.
Number 5. Mercedes-Benz GLC. On the surface, the GLC embodied luxury. It offered a plush interior, cutting-edge technology, and the promise of Mercedes refinement. Yet reality was merciless. Honest John's Satisfaction Index scored it a shocking 8.52 out of 10, one of the lowest ratings of any car in the UK. And it wasn't just isolated cases. Owners complained of rattling dashboards, squeaky doors, and endless electronic failures. Keyless entry failed. Battery connectors arrived loose straight from the factory. Water leaks snuck through seals, leaving carpets soaked. For many, the GLC was a betrayal, Luxury in price, but fragile in construction. Mercedes, known for prestige, found its reputation dragged down by one of its own bestsellers. Cost of ownership only deepened the wound. Repairs were expensive, failures appeared early, and many loyal customers vowed never to buy Mercedes again. Number 4. Audi A7. Few cars turned heads like the Audi A7. Its sleek fastback silhouette and sharp handling made it a showpiece of German design. But under the skin lurked financial ruin. The air suspension system was notorious for collapsing, leaving cars sagging and drivers facing repair bills of over €3,000. Turbocharged engines, while powerful, developed oil leaks and overheating issues, often leading to full turbo replacements. The MMI infotainment system, once praised as futuristic, became another failure point. Frozen screens, dead controls, and unreliable Bluetooth connections left owners frustrated. Luxury buyers expect seamless integration, not hours in service bays. Compared with rivals like the BMW 5 Series and Mercedes E-Class, the A7 suffered from higher maintenance costs and lower resale values. For many, it was love at first sight, regret at long-term ownership. Number 2. Tesla Model S. The Model S once symbolized the future of driving. It proved electric cars could be fast, stylish, and desirable. But today, especially in Europe, its shine has dulled dramatically. Consumer Reports no longer recommends it, citing suspension failures, touchscreen breakdowns, and even faulty retractable door handles, a humiliating flaw on an €80,000 car. Sales numbers reveal the collapse. In Germany, deliveries plunged by 59.5%. In France, by 63.4%. Without subsidies and with tougher competition, the Model S became a relic of early EV hype. Customer service only fueled frustration. One owner reported a peeling steering wheel at 64,000 kilometers, only to be dismissed by Tesla. Worse still, the National Highway Safety Traffic Administration forced Tesla into recalls after touchscreens failed mid-drive, eliminating rear visibility and climate control. Yes, the Model S still accelerates like a rocket and boasts impressive range, but it has become a symbol of Tesla's paradox: brilliant innovation paired with terrible execution. Number 2. BMW i8. The BMW i8 looked like a spaceship, complete with scissor doors and futuristic lines. But beneath the glamour, disappointment brewed. Instead of a roaring supercar engine, buyers got a 1.5-liter three-cylinder engine, the same size as an economy hatchback, paired with an electric motor for 357 horsepower. For €125,000, it wasn't enough. Handling felt awkward, with mismatched power delivery between front-wheel electric and rear-wheel petrol. Inside, space was cramped and materials often felt cheap. Worse, reliability lagged. Overheating drivetrains, fragile batteries, and recurring faults drained owners of money and patience. Depreciation crushed any remaining enthusiasm. Some buyers watched their i8 lose half its value within months. What should have been the pinnacle of BMW engineering became an overpriced experiment that collapsed under its own promises. Number 1. Range Rover Sport. The Range Rover Sport embodies desire, luxury, power, and prestige wrapped in rugged SUV skin. Yet it is also Europe's most treacherous ownership gamble. Its air suspension system fails regularly, with repairs costing thousands per axle. Electronics unravel quickly. Infotainment freezes, navigation glitches, and climate controls behaving erratically. Land Rover filled the Sport with high-tech features, but failed to ensure they actually worked. Maintenance costs are punishing. Fuel consumption hovers at 10 to 12 liters per 100 kilometers, and routine servicing alone is exorbitant. Depreciation delivers the final blow. Owners often see values drop 50% within 3 years, one of the worst records in its class. Despite its commanding looks and prestige, reliability ratings rank it among the least dependable SUVs in Europe. It's a machine that dazzles in the showroom, but leaves owners financially bruised and emotionally drained. Conclusion: lessons from the worst. The 15 cars we've just exposed reveal a harsh truth. In the automotive world, prestige and popularity do not guarantee reliability. From budget hatchbacks to six-figure supercars, Too many brands cut corners, leaving customers stranded with recalls, costly failures, and endless frustration. The common thread is clear. Engineering shortcuts and corporate neglect create financial traps for everyday drivers. Whether it's Peugeot's flawed AdBlue system, Ford's catastrophic PowerShift transmission,